Today, we are going to learn some nouns that are very common in everyday English conversations. These words will help you understand native speakers much better. So let us get started. The first word is alteration. An alteration means a change. When something is not the same as before, we call that change an alteration. It is often used when we talk about clothes, plans, or documents. For example, if your jacket is too big, you take it to a shop and ask them to make it smaller. That is an alteration. In conversation, you might hear someone say, "She made a small alteration to her dress before the wedding," or "The manager made an alteration to the schedule." Basically, anytime something is changed or adjusted, you can use this word. The next word is alternative. An alternative is another option. When you have two or more choices, and you pick one that is different from the usual one, that is an alternative. For example, if someone does not eat meat, they look for an alternative, like vegetables or tofu. In real conversations, people say things like, "She chose a healthy alternative to fast food," or "There is no alternative. We have to walk." This word is very useful when you are making decisions or suggesting different options. Now let us talk about altitude. Altitude means height, but we use it specifically when we talk about how high something is above the ground or above sea level. Pilots use this word a lot. Hikers also use it when they climb mountains. For example, "The plane is flying at a very high altitude," or "At this altitude, it is hard to breathe because there is less oxygen in the air." If you ever travel by plane or go hiking in the mountains, you will hear this word often. The fourth word is ambassador. An ambassador is a person who officially represents their country in another country. Think of it as the top person sent by a government to speak and work on behalf of their nation. For example, she was appointed as the ambassador to France. In everyday conversation, people also use this word in a broader way, like, "She is a brand ambassador for a coffee company," meaning she represents that brand publicly. Next is amusement. Amusement is the feeling you get when something makes you smile or laugh. It is a light, happy feeling. You might feel amusement when you watch a funny video or when a child says something unexpected. In conversation, you will hear, "She watched the puppy with amusement," or "There was a look of amusement on her face." You also see this word in places like amusement parks, which are places designed to make people have fun. The sixth word is ancestor. An ancestor is a person from your family who lived a long time before you. Your great-grandparents, for example, are your ancestors. People often talk about ancestors when they research their family history. A native speaker might say, "She discovered that her ancestor came from Ireland," or "Learning about your ancestors helps you understand who you are." The last word is anticipation. Anticipation is the feeling of waiting for something exciting that is going to happen. It is that warm, nervous, happy feeling you get right before something good. For example, think about the night before a vacation. You cannot sleep because you are so excited. That feeling is anticipation. In conversation, people say, "She could hardly sleep because of the anticipation," or "The children sat in anticipation as the presents were being handed out." Now let us quickly go over all 7 words one more time. Alteration means a change. Alternative means another option or choice. Altitude means the height above the ground. Ambassador is a person who represents their country officially. Amusement is the feeling of finding something funny or enjoyable. Ancestor is a family member from long ago. And anticipation is the excited feeling of waiting for something good to happen. Coming up next, we will look at each of these words again with pictures and example sentences. And after that, we will listen to some real conversations using these words.
Alteration. She made an alteration to her dress. Alteration. She made an alteration to her dress. Alternative. She chose a healthy alternative to sugar. Alternative. She chose a healthy alternative to sugar. Altitude. The plane is flying at a high altitude. Altitude. The plane is flying at a high altitude. Ambassador. She works as an ambassador in France. Ambassador. She works as an ambassador in France. Amusement. She laughed with amusement at the joke. Amusement. She laughed with amusement at the joke. Ancestor. She found a photo of her ancestor. Ancestor. She found a photo of her ancestor. Anticipation. She waited in anticipation for the gift. Anticipation. She waited in anticipation for the gift. Alternative. She chose a healthy alternative to sugar. Ambassador. She works as an ambassador in France. Anticipation. She waited in anticipation for the gift.
Did you hear about the big event next month?
Yes, I have been thinking about it all week. I feel so much anticipation. I can hardly wait.
Me too. By the way, I heard there is going to be an ambassador from the UK speaking at the event.
Really? That sounds very interesting. What will she talk about?
I think she will talk about international relations and how the two countries work together. It should be quite informative.
I love hearing from people like that. They always have such fascinating stories about living and working in different countries.
Absolutely. Oh, and I also heard the venue has changed. They made an alteration to the original plan.
What kind of alteration?
They moved the event from the small hall to the large conference center downtown. Apparently, too many people signed up.
That makes sense. The small hall would have been way too crowded. I am glad they found an alternative location.
Same here. The conference center is actually much better. There is more space and better facilities.
Have you been there before?
Yes, once. It is on the 10th floor of a tall building, so the altitude gives you an amazing view of the city.
Oh, that sounds lovely. I always enjoy being up high and looking out over a city. There is something very peaceful about it.
There is a big window on the south side of the room. You can see the whole skyline from there.
I'm already looking forward to it. What else is planned for the event?
There will be a few short talks, some music, and a small exhibition about local history. One section is about how people lived generations ago.
You mean like stories about our ancestors?
Exactly. They have old photographs and letters from ancestors of some families in the area. It is quite moving to see.
I find that kind of thing so meaningful. Learning about the people who came before us really puts life in perspective.
I agree. There is also going to be a comedy segment near the end of the event.
Oh, good. A little amusement is always welcome after a lot of serious content.
That is exactly what the organizers said. They wanted to end on a light and happy note so people leave feeling good.
That is a really thoughtful way to plan an event. Who is performing the comedy segment?
A local comedian named Tom. He is very funny and very easy to understand, so everyone should enjoy it.
Perfect. I think the whole thing is going to be wonderful. Are you going with anyone?
Just a friend from work. What about you?
I am going with my neighbor. She has never been to anything like this before, so she is also full of anticipation.
It is going to be a great day. I am really glad they organized something like this for the community.
Same here. It feels good to come together and learn something new, while also having a bit of fun.